Good evening, welcome along. Sunday night, which means another edition of the Sunday Bunch. Just the Three Musketeers tonight. I'm with Terry and Jacob, or Terry and June, for those who remember. Are we all good? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to be halfy on and halfy off. So, Terry, how's your day been?
Hi, it's been all right. Nice relaxing day. Trying to get myself all calmed down after yesterday's result.
Oh, no, tell us about it. But, well, we will get on to that. Jacob, how's your day been in that there London?
Apologies. Yeah, it's been good, mate. Polished off a lovely roast dinner. Nice Sunday walk. Yeah, typical Sunday, mate.
Right, okay. I wish I had time for Sunday walks as well. Right, okay. We are live, which means you can join us via the live chat. If you wish to do so, we're going to talk all things Sunderland. We're going to discuss yesterday's events at the Stadium of Light. And already on there, first up, Mick Griffiths is on there. He's got an evening one and all. It's been a while. Glad to be back. Looking forward to a great show. Ian Wilkinson is on there. Hiya, gang. Still fuming. Terry still not calmed down yet. Stephen Thornton on there. Hello all. And Alan Gardner as well. Hi, chaps. So if you want to get involved with the show, get yourself on the live chat and we'll try and include as many people as we can. Right, we are 50 subscribers away from 10,000, right? I thought we was going to get there this by the end of the week, but we had a little mishap. So we've got 50 people. All we need is 50 people to hit the subscribe button, and we're at that 10,000, that magic 10,000 figure. Free to subscribe, so do that. And while you're on it, the thumbs up, give us a like as well. Right, so yesterday, Sunderland 2, Watford 2. Let's start with team selection then. Terry, when you saw the lineup, what were your thoughts?
Disappointed yet again. I mean, I thought he might have learnt his lesson from the Plymouth match, and I'm beginning to think Samid has some sort of clause in his contract when he's fit he has to play, because I don't understand what he brings to the side one single bit. We brought in Lefebvre, the most expensive player that we brought in from outside of Sunderland, and his natural position's in the middle, so we insist on sticking him on the left-hand side. And with Job, unfortunately, being not available through, I suspect, injury, it was an ideal situation to have Miyenda on the left, put Lefebvre in the middle. Let's see what Lefebvre brings to the centre. Samid just brings nothing at all to the side at this moment in time. And I think we're just wasting our time putting them in the centre. And I was disappointed with that lineup yesterday. I thought, again, one up top against the out of form Watford side, dropping down the table. Only got so many players fit. It was a great opportunity to really go for the jugular and get a few goals and stamp your authority on the game. And I thought it was just a poor performance all round.
Right, okay. I've got to admit, because I was a bit out of touch with when Samed joined. So I don't know a lot about him. Is he some sort of wonder kid or what? I mean, it's the good things written about him. Jacob, you're one in there.
Well, he got, I think, an interesting stat. He got one of the most interceptions out of the players in the French top division last season. So I think that was obviously one of the key factors why we brought him in. Obviously, injuries have scuppered how he could. We never know. He might have been a key man that Labrie thought would have made. He would have made a difference if we was fit at the start of the season. We're now starting to see him come into the fold. But listen, it's going to take time for him. I personally knew once Job had been announced that he was injured and not going to play, that Samid was going to start this game. It was just written in the script what Labrie was going to do. I still think there is time.
Sorry, Jacob. Have we signed him, or is he on loan? Or...
He's on loan at the minute, but we've got an obligation to potentially buy him, I think, for about 20 million in the summer. I think.
Jesus. Right. Jacob, what did you think about the lineup when you saw it?
It didn't surprise me in terms of how he set up in the midfield, considering the fact Job was out. I would have personally liked, I do agree with Terry, I thought Miyenda would have offered more than Roberts on the right-hand side. Lefebvre playing out on the left, don't get me wrong, he's been one of our star men the last few games out in that position, but let's see what he can do in the middle of the park. And I think he may look to make a few more changes in that game on Wednesday. So you never know. We could see him come into the centre along with a few more changes as well, potentially. Maybe even Ballard coming in for 09 at centre half. But yeah, only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Right, okay. Just quickly back to the chat, trying to get as many people in as we can. Stephen Martin says, hi guys, we were shocking yesterday. Mick Griffiths, he's agreeing with you. Terry about Samed. Paul Graham says, still can't understand why we started with one up front at home. It's you just pull your hair out with it, didn't you? Really? Yes. Well, if I had hair to pull out, I would pull it out. I'm sure I would. Was that because? I mean, I discussed this when we made of the match yesterday. Was that our worst performance all season? Is that the worst we've been, Terry?
I think it's up there with as in a home performance. But I think a home performance has been tapering off over the last few games anyway. I think we're going far too defensive now. I think, has Dodds actually left now? I don't think Dodds here anymore. Is that right? Is
he's gone to Wickham, yeah.
So we can't really blame the Dodds factor anymore. But
Yeah.
the Speakman factor that's kicking in is Speakman all along basically have these players coming in and need to play these players, because why on earth would you start the likes of Samid, who's been out all season, and just bring him? I mean, you would think that the natural progression would be to bring him on with 20 minutes to play, bring him on 15 minutes to play and half an hour to play. But why just bang him in there from the start? It's too defensive. And we're on there. And I think as soon as we do score a goal, we tend to just sit back now. Is that tactics from the break? Sit back and just soak up the pressure, because I'm really not getting it at the moment. I think you're going to have to ask questions. Do we actually want top two? Do we really want top two this season? Why have we suddenly just decided to change tactics and do what we're doing now? And I know I've seen games before, we've gone for try to go for teams, but now we just seem to be going really defensive. And I think yesterday it was really poor. I thought it was too slow. It was not very creative at all. I think all the players, there wasn't many players actually stood out.
We discussed the same, but I'm going to get onto that anyway shortly. Just quickly before I come to you, Jacob, I want to go back to the chat again. Martin Donison is saying somebody's ruined our style of play, which he does seem to upset, our system, what we have. Ian Wilkinson says Rig, Hume, Sirkin, all poor for weeks. So John Ruddock, he will only change if Speakman tells him to. Well, who knows? Jacob, was that our worst performance so far this season?
I'd say so. Fully up there, definitely with the Bristol City home draw just before Christmas. I think it's the most pedestrian and nervous we've looked in a home game this season. I think when we got the first goal inside the first 15 minutes, you thought, let's put our stamp on the game here. Let's go and play like we normally do when we're chasing the game, have a lot of energy in the last third, really take advantage of when we're in possession in wide areas to really catch teams on the break, which we never really looked about. We went a goal up and it was exactly the same as we've seen in previous performances where we've taken the lead. We've allowed the opposition to dictate the game too easily, and we allowed that to happen. When did they get the second one? Was it within 30 seconds of the restart? Yeah, really, really poor. And the worst thing about it was Watford's top goal scorer wasn't even playing. They had an 18-year-old kid starting up front for them who, to be fair, had a really, really good performance. He'd be very proud of himself for that. But a big opportunity missed. Watford didn't test Patterson at all until they had that header that led to their penalty after that week. But we didn't really test their keeper either after we got the first goal. So, yeah, frustrating game, very frustrating game. But we had the chances to win it. As once Sirkin got that equaliser, Alexic put one straight at the keeper, and then that Isidore chance, he's got to be burying that for me. The weight on the pass from Mayenda was superb. Just go and get the hard bit done, like he did at Borough on Monday.
Right,
one-on-one with the keeper, and it wasn't to be.
We'll get on all that, Jacob. Terry, you was wanting to jump in there?
Yeah, it just shows what we can do when we put our minds to it. Now, when we change the system, we put Mayenda on, we go for it. It just shows how we can dominate the game and create loads of chances, but we just didn't do that. We waited to the last 5 minutes, which is pretty pathetic at home, to be honest.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Just very quickly back to the chat. Keno is saying, why are they desperate to shoehorn Samad into the team, moving Neil from where he's been running games for us? Alan Gardner saying he doesn't think we sat back when we equalised 2-2. No, we are going to get on that. It's when we take the lead, we tend to sit back for some reason. David on there says Rig needs a rest. There's a lot of people saying that. I still don't buy it. He's a young kid, man, but I know you two will disagree with us. Right, okay then. I'll tell you what, first of all, if you've not give us a like yet, we try and get 100 likes if we can on a Sunday. Just hit the thumbs up and get us to 100. Terry, you want in there?
Well, let's just quickly talk about that, Philly, because we go back to last season. Seems the facts stated. Last season, Job was inexperienced. He was young. He wasn't fully mature yet. He played a lot of games. By 2/3 through the season, he tapered off and his form had gone. His confidence had gone. He dipped completely. Chris Riggs the same. Been brilliant. Played a lot of games. 17, young lad, not fully developed yet. Getting 2/3 through the season and his form's dipping again. And we should learn from that. And this is opportunity now when Job's fit to put Lafay in the middle, rest Chris Rigg and have Lafay with Dan Neil and Job in the centre of the park. Now, I don't know when Job's fit, but for me, a lot of games for a youngster, some of them do shine, some of them have really sort of got to develop yet. Right. And I think we'll see Chris Rigg next season in the same light as Job this season.
Right, okay. Before I bring you in, Jacob, on that, I don't know if I'm reading you wrong on this, Terry, then, and I'm confusing needing a rest with him being tired. I can't see a young kid, fit as out, playing football, loving the job he's doing. It's a dream job. And so I'm not saying, I don't think he's tired, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, needing a rest, because I don't know, he needs to step away from it possibly to, I think
it could be mentally as well as physically. It could be a bit of stress. It could be anything. It could be just a long season for someone to come in and just play a long season under that kind of cauldron of sort of pressure as well. Sometimes when your form dips, your confidence goes a little bit. You've got maybe to have a bit of a rest to come back again. And I think we saw a massive difference in Job from the back end of last season to the beginning of the season.
Well said.
Right, okay. Jacob, sorry, you want in there?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of agree with Terry in a way regarding Rigg. I think we can't afford to particularly... I remember Terry might remember this actually, we had the same problem with Dan Neil in the promotion winning season in League One. Alex Neil got appointed and then Dan Neil was a key part of that team in the first half of the season, but it got to about January, Feb, and I think wasn't the fact he was, out of form. Well, performances had slowly dropped off, but he was outspent, out tired, and the rest, because I don't think Neil really played him, to be honest. Once he came in, he didn't really start him in games, and that I think benefited him going into the Championship in the following season. That first season he was one of our standout players in that campaign. So it's a case of, I can understand, Philly, what you say about, he's a young lad, but it's how you manage young players. I think this is the first season in his career where he's playing consistently week in, week out, and we can't afford to have that problem like we've had with Neil in the past, where you get midway through a season and towards the back end of the season when you need players to step up and show individual quality, they won't be able to do that because of the amount of times they've been overplayed in games in a way. And yeah, I think that's one of the reasons we brought the fee in, to take a little bit of pressure off Chris Rigg. But for me now, I think after yesterday, this has to be the start where you've got to put him in his natural position now. Right. Back onto Samed also. Sameed, rather, however you want to pronounce his name. I do think some of the comments is a little bit harsh, if I'm personally honest. But you have to remember, we brought him in as a defensive midfield, and I thought when he came on against Borough on Monday, that suited his game down to a T. Winning second balls, pressing Borough's midfield, and starting him in games at the minute. Obviously, I know potentially Speakman wants him to get his fitness up to scratch. He sees him as
why.
a key
I'm
part
sorry,
of the future.
Jacob. Let me jump in there. Why are you saying you think Speakman wants him to? What's it got to do with Speakman? You know, I mean, when it's the playing side of things, this has got to be down to Reggie, surely. I mean, Speakman can have his hand in who he signs and who he wants in and stuff like that. But you know, Speakman wanting his fitness up. What's that got to do with anything?
It might not be Speakman. That's just a potential theory I have. But I don't think Samid personally would have started that game if Bellingham was fit yesterday. I think Bellingham would have been in that midfield three. Or
right, okay.
It was a 4-2-3-1 we went with instead.
Right, go on, Terry.
Yeah, I just think you've got to look at the contracts as well. I mean, he's played in the Champions League. He's come to this level. They may be saying, look, if he comes to Sunderland, we want him to play football. And as soon as he's fit, he plays football. But I agree with Jacob. I think Samir's the player that comes on in the last 20 minutes. That's what you would do with most players. You don't just chuck him into the deep end when he's missed all season. We've done so well so far this season. And now we seem to be just like chucking points away just to accommodate putting somebody in. We don't need to do that. We've got a player like Lafay who's fit, who knows how Labrie plays his style of football, his natural positions in the middle. It's a no-brainer. If we go into this Luton game on Wednesday and play Samid again, it's absolutely madness.
Right, okay. Let me quickly go to the chat because that's filling up. Tony Lee says we could do with Brown's experience now. When's he back? And apparently he's in full training. Now it says a bit further down. How long is Job out? I don't know. Any of you lads?
He's apparently fit enough to be back in the squad on Wednesday. Whether he actually starts, I'm not too sure. That's all of it. It might be the opposite. He might be out of Wednesday as well, and he may want to rest him, get it up to scratch for that Leeds game the following Monday. But only time will tell.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly, just hit the like button for us. We've got 95 people watching the stream at the moment. Hit the thumbs up. We'd like to get to 100 as we do on a Sunday. And more importantly, I did say at the start, we are only 50 subscribers away from 10,000. I've just checked, and now we're 51 subscribers away from 10,000. We're going down instead of up. What's the matter with you? Hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Get us to 10,000. I'm sure this will be the week that we do it, especially when we get some extra content on this week. Just very quickly before I come to the some of the incidents which happened in the game. Jacob, I'll go straight to you with this. Did we sit back at 1-0? Or did Watford just sort of up the game once we went ahead, Jacob?
Both. Like I said before, we too easily allowed Watford to dictate the play, particularly in the middle of the park, and they were getting more crosses into the box. They were, taking the opportunities they had to get their more creative players on the ball, but we didn't press them at all. We just were happy to concede possession, for them to start creating the chances and, put more pressure on our back line. And we only really, our best moments of play in that game yesterday were when we were chasing it, trying to get back in it and go for the winner.
Right, okay. I do love Tony Lee, because my mate anyway. Lots of form, yes, but tired. What a load of crap.
They're not fully developed adults. I mean, look how small Chris Riggs' frame is. He's only a young lad, and he's not big enough. He's not really developed fully for me to put a full season in at the same level as you can start the season off.
Well, there you go. That's Ian Wilkinson agrees with you there, Terry. Riggs struggles physically. He's still only 17, isn't he? So,
and remember, Chris Riggs' game is actually getting in strong challenges in. So at some point, that's going to take its toll on his body.
Right, Jacob, quickly.
I was going to ask, do you think we play Chris Rigg in the best position that suits him?
I think he's pretty good in a few positions, though. So maybe we've yet to see his best position. I mean, I don't know, Terry.
I think he'd be quite good as a number 10, personally, but that's just...
Yeah, but that's going to be Lafay's role, really, isn't it? I mean, ideally.
Imagine Lafay there straight away, don't we? Let's face it.
Well, imagine Lafay with Isidore. You know what I mean? How exciting is that? You know what I mean?
But credit is due for Dan Neil also, that when he did that role against Borough, he was absolutely unplayable on Monday. Dan Neil's probably our most important player in that team at the minute.
It's like, what do you do when Mundle's fit? Does he start 90 minutes or you put him on the bench and he comes off 20 minutes to go? When someone's had an injury, he could, no matter how good he is, he's had an injury, he comes back, you bring him on for 20 minutes to go, half an hour to go, you build his physical strength up, you build his fitness up, and he starts games of football. As soon as Mundle's fit, for me, he gets on the bench, a couple of games, and he starts. Simple as, because on the left-hand side, that's where we need someone like Mundle. Then it frees up like Samienda to go up top, it frees up someone like Lafayette to go in the middle.
I don't know. One second, Jacob. I don't know if I heard right, but I'm sure I heard this week that Mundle is due back on the grass next week. I think it is.
I thought he's already on the grass. I thought he was the further forward, and Tommy Watson and Brown. He's the one that's further forward.
Yeah. No, I think Brown. I thought Brown was furthest forward.
No, I thought Mundle was.
Oh well, I hope so. I mean, that'd be great.
Mundle's been back on the grass, but I think he's starting contact training next week. I think then we'll potentially see him maybe in the squad for that Leeds game, or fingers crossed. But one thing I was going to raise to Terry, you talk about the left-hand side. We need to talk about the right as well, mate, because Patrick Roberts, I think that's the worst game
that's what I mean
this season.
As soon as Mundle's free, Mundle's free to come on the left, Mienda goes to the right.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm a big fan of Patrick Roberts. I really am. But it's becoming harder and harder to sort of defend him. Yesterday, unfortunately, was his worst game I think he's had for us. But I still like him. Just on you, Terry, on this Simba. Did we sit back at 1-0 or did just was it just that Watford up their game because they went one down?
Again, I think it's both. We did sit back, but when you score the goal, you should up your tempo, shouldn't you? You should really go for it even more. I mean, Watford were in a bad situation. They've lost the best goal scorer. They've got lots of injuries. The confidence down, the form's out. When you go one up, the head should go down. You should go for it, but no, we sat back and they just passed the ball around for fun. I know how many passes. 20 passes at one time, just backwards and forwards around, and we just sat back and soaked it up. We're the home team. What the hell's going on?
Right, Jacob?
Another big problem we had yesterday also was when Lafayette and Roberts got the ball in the wide areas, Hume and Sirkin were not doing enough at all to overlap and get round and get crosses, in which we've seen they've got the capability to be brilliant at that. I know it was a brilliant assist from Trey Hume for Luke O'Nine's goal, but he had a really poor performance as well yesterday, Trey Hume. Sirkin, I know Sirkin got the equaliser, but yeah, Sirkin, he looked really shattered and outspent in that game yesterday. I'm not sure what was wrong.
Right, just quickly, let me nip into the chat because people are trying to have their say in there, so I want to try and include as many as we can. John Ruddock saying Speakman calls the shots. Colin Major says, sorry, Terry, when you say stress, these lads don't know the meaning of it. The wage they're on. Trying to keep a roof over your head, that's stress.
I think it's a different kind of stress. It's stress on the body. Chris Riggs got a stress on his body for his physical side. You know, it's the knocks he takes. He's not fully developed. He's only 17. You've seen the size of him. You know, he goes in rock hard in these challenges, and some meaty challenges goes in, and they're going to take a knock on his bones, on his muscles, and eventually he's going to get fatigued, and it's going to pay off. He needs to step back. He needs to step out of the team for a couple of games and have a bit of a rest and come back again. That's my opinion for the last 10 games, even for the playoffs. Because if we play like this in the playoffs, we've got no chance. I'm sorry.
Right, okay. Johnny Cool is on there. I actually met Johnny Cool at one away game. I can't remember which one it was, but he came and said hello. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you again. Things always happen when Mienda plays. He has to start on Wednesday. Stu Coates is saying about the interview with Tony Mowbray, where he was saying that Speakman was always asking about the players and who he wants on the bench and stuff like that. Stephen Shotton says Roberts has been rubbish of late, which of course he has. Right then, what about this penalty of theirs? Now I must admit, I mean, I'm sat down the other end, so it's not down my end. So when it happened, it looked like a penalty. I've seen it on the telly since, and it's one of them. If if it was for us, we'd be screaming for it. But but I've heard a lot of people have gone never a penalty in a million years. Terry, thoughts on it?
To be fair, I'm in the same boat as you. I've seen it on YouTube, and I've seen it, and I actually thought it was a penalty. But it's a poor one to give away because someone like Dennis Cirkin understand he's going away from the goal, pushing him to the corner flag.
Exactly.
You don't need to go in for that challenge after Patterson's made such a fantastic save. Push him to the corner flag. It was a reckless challenge, and he deserves what he gets there, to be honest.
Ian Wilkinson says poor defending from Cirkin. John Ruddock says Cirkin good going forward but cannot defend. Ian Wilkinson says spot on, Terry, with what you were saying. I think with the stress comment, it looks like. Jacob, was it a penalty for you or not?
I can understand why the ref gave it. I watched it live, and when I watched it live, rather, it looked soft to me. But for me, Cirkin's got to be doing a lot better to shield the ball from the lad who goes in for the 50-50. And yeah, it was a stupid foul to make. As soon as he done it, I knew what the ref was going to give straight away. And it was a key moment for them in the game, getting that equaliser right on half-time. I think that spurred them on to up the energy levels. And it happened 30 seconds into the second half. Yeah, the sloppiness of the goals we're conceding, for me, is getting worse and worse game by game. Something needs to change on a defensive point of view if we're going to give ourselves a better opportunity at going up this season, because at the moment it's touch and go.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, people saying what we've just said there as well. Jay, facing the wrong way, no need to put your foot in. Just stand the man up. David says Cirkin should not be making that tackle. Mick Griffiths says if it happened to us, the penalty would have been given, which is sort of what we were saying. If it had been us, we'd have been screaming for it. I'll tell you a point I want to quickly jump in, which I've not got on my list here. Me and my mates, when we're watching the game, we say it every single match, and we've said it for a few seasons now, that Sunderland never ever leave a man on the halfway line. So if there's a corner and anything like that, there's never anybody up. But the fact that Wilson Isidore's now, one of his strengths is that ball over and that run, and where it then becomes one-on-one, right? Why on earth are we not leaving Isidore up when there's, when they have a corner or anything like that? And it's a quick, you could hoof the ball out and it's to him and he's away. And, he's got a good straight rate when he's running through. And it's just, it infuriates me. Sunderland have never seemed to have done that. But even more so now with having Isidore, who's brilliant at doing that. I think we should be doing that. Do you agree with that, Jacob?
But there were moments, I agree with you, Philip. There was moments second half yesterday where we were winning the ball back after Watford had a corner. Isidore was making the run and we weren't putting those balls over the top to him. And you could tell that he was getting absolutely irate about it. And that's one of our key threats we have in the second half of games where opposition sides can get stretched. It's the pace of Isidore can really, really hurt teams in this and defenses in this division. The problem is we don't take advantage of that enough.
Right, okay. Terry, would you like to see a man left on that halfway line?
100%. I sit next to a bloke. He says the same thing. He goes, why have we not got someone on the halfway line? Then they're going to have to put two defenders there because they'll be shit scared. I don't understand. I don't know whether he doesn't trust all of his defenders in the penalty box or the corners. It's a no-brainer.
But we haven't done it for seasons. We've had this discussion every game for the last couple of seasons at least, so it's not just one manager.
But when you've got someone next to Isidore with that kind of pace, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Absolutely, 100%. Just very quickly, Emma's on there. Hiya, Emma. Evening a little late tonight, but I could be excused. Emma has not been well today. In fact, I think she's been in hospital. So fingers crossed everything's all right with you, Emma. And maybe if you didn't drink so much, you won't be so ill. Right, okay then. How much did we miss Job yesterday then? Do you think he was a massive factor on us being absolutely shite yesterday? Terry?
I think I'm going to look at the Middlesbrough game. Why are we not playing the same style of football we did against Middlesbrough? Where's the passion from that game gone yesterday? Where was any passion yesterday? Where was any determination yesterday? It was like chalk and cheese. Middlesbrough game, up for it, Dan Neil's really up for it, giving it everything. Yesterday, placid. I don't understand. Job was there when we drew against Plymouth. Job was there when we drew against Coventry. So do we miss him yesterday? Probably we did miss him yesterday. Yeah, he's a better player than Sameed by a million miles, but still, we have this mentality of sitting back. If we took the lead yesterday with Job on the side, we probably still would have sat back. So I think it's something that's coming from high up that needs to change. I don't know whether this is the way the Breeze style of football is, that he just wants to sit back when he takes the lead and just try to wait for the odd counter attack. But it's wrong. It's not right. I want to see what we saw against Middlesbrough. I know we let a couple of goals in, but I want to see that passion. One of them was a mistake by Luke 09, one of those stupid mistakes by Luke 09. But I want to see that passion, that determination at home. Where is it at home? I haven't seen it for a long time.
Right, okay, just very quickly, we mentioned about Emma not being very well, and Emma's husband has just come on there and said, Philly, don't feel sorry for her. She's milking it big time now. She also says she was on the coke. I will have you know. Don't ask. I haven't got a clue. Jacob, how much did we miss Job yesterday? Do you think he was the factor that we were shite?
We just didn't have any control of the game in the middle of the park, which Job would have put his foot down and done really well to dictate the play in the middle yesterday, something that we weren't doing. Even when we were annoyingly sitting back, we still, when we had possession, it was slow and a bit pedestrian, and Job adds just that extra bit of pace in winning the ball and keeping it in key areas of the pitch, which is probably his best attribute at the minute. We're playing a lot. Obviously, we've got Sameed there, who's not the finished article in terms of the play we want him to be right now. He's still getting his fitness up to scratch, but he's someone that can also do a role that Job can do effectively as well. Protecting the back four, keeping the attacking players from the opposition off the ball. And obviously Sameed could be that one day, but he's nowhere near in terms of the player Job is at the minute. So yeah, we missed him a lot in that game. Hopefully he's back Wednesday.
Right, okay. Well, Ian Brown says no strength in the squad without Job. Saying there. Jay saying, I'm sure the 5 matches Job has missed, we've not won one of them. But he could be wrong. I don't know. Look, just very quickly, we've got 57 likes at the moment. We try and get 100 if we can on a Sunday. We've got over 100 people on the stream at the moment. Just hit the thumbs up if you do so. If you're watching on a mobile device and the live chat is open, just close the live chat. You see the thumbs up, just smash that. Get us to 100. But more importantly, we are only 51 subscribers away from 10,000. So hit the subscribe button. Please help us out. Do that. Take your second. Cost nothing to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. Get us to 10,000. We plan to do that this week. Terry.
I might be controversial. If Mundo's fit, if Tommy Watson's fit, if Job's fit and Brown's fit, Paveda and Sameed don't even get on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, what's this thing with Paveda? I mean,
I thought he had a good game when he came on. To be
well,
honest,
he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Absolutely
but when listen, I'll tell you what. When he came on, I went, "You are joking me." I mean, he hadn't even brought Mayenda on then, and he's and he brings him on. And there was a couple of times I don't know if because when he came on, I thought he was going to be absolute pants.
He is pants.
So when he came on, he was better than I was expecting him to be. I don't know. Right, who wanted to be in there? One of you? I saw a finger up there.
He's started to deceive every single time. He lost. Look at him on Wednesday against Middlesbrough. Tuesday, he gets in the penalty box, 1-1 with the kick, and he falls over his own feet. How weird, man! Come on.
He's been out injured for a while, Terry.
He needs to. If he's still here next season, we've got no chance. Get rid of him straight away. Him and Sami need to go packing. I'm going to be harsh because that's the way it is. It's a harsh. If you're not going to, have your own say and your own opinions, that's my opinion. I think Pervada's pants. I wish him all the best in the future. And he may get fit and prove us wrong. I wish he does. But Mundell and Watson, when they're fit, he goes nowhere near the squad.
You always, that's your favourite. Hang on, Joe. That's your favourite thing. Sorry, you slag somebody off and then you say, "But I wish him all the best for the future."
Anyway. Right, man. I thought he was rubbish yesterday. That's just my opinion.
Right, go on, Jacob.
Well, obviously, I disagree, but everyone's entitled to their opinion on this platform. The one credit we've got to give Labrie yesterday, what was the main thing he did differently? He made subs earlier than what he normally does.
Yeah, no choice.
Yeah,
no choice.
But it must have been an absolute bollocking of a half time.
Why didn't he start Meander at the start? Why start really Samid? Why do the same thing as Plymouth? I don't understand it. It was all his fault. He changed it at the end when it was far too late, and we got back into it and it showed what we could do at the end. We need to take that team and start, some of those players in the next match against Luton. We need to start Meander, switch Labrie to the middle. Hopefully Job's fit. We don't know, rest Chris Rigg, but we need, maybe even go 4-4-2 against Luton. There's nothing to lose because at the end of the day, we're going to be in the playoffs regardless, I'm afraid. I think we are going to be in the playoffs regardless. But if we really want the top two, we've got to change something for the Luton game. If we start Samid again, it's insanity.
Well, I'll tell you what was said to me.
If we don't win that game, it will all be down to Samid, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Defensive at home, yeah. We need to go. There's no point sitting back at home. What's the point of sitting back at home and playing a defensive midfielder like that? It's with Samid. He's been there twice. Both games, we're not won. Simple as. We've won other games without him there, so I don't understand why he's starting. You bring in a player worth 23 million like Lafayette. Class. He's been good in his position. But I bet he's even better in the middle. He starts in the middle way before you put Daniel back in the position he's played for most of the season, and you have Lafayette further forward. It's not rocket science.
Who do you put on the left, though?
On the left, you have Meander.
He's better on the right, though.
He's still good on the left. He's better than what we've got. I'd rather have Lafayette in the middle, who's better than Samir, and have Meander on the left. Meander, for me, he's played really good on the left when he's been on the left. He's played good on the right. He's played good up front. I think he's better in any of those positions. I'd rather start Meander any day of the week and start Samir.
I've got to say, the thought of Lafayette in the middle with Isidore just excites me. I just think, why, and at home as well, why we're not doing that. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Look, the issue isn't that Samid's not very good. The issue is Samid's not up to scratch. He's not up to fitness, not sharp enough. He's been injured a long time. We're trying to force him into a side, but he's not, probably doesn't even know, click with all the players at this moment in time. He's just a sideway passing sort of a player. He's not ready. He may be ready in 10 games' time. He may be brilliant next season, but at this moment in time, we want top two. We're trying to go for top two. He isn't the answer right now.
Right, okay. Look on the chat. Jack's mum's on there. Jackie Shields. Hi, Jackie. How you doing? She totally agrees with Terry. So there you go. I'll tell you what was said to me though, and it's not something I'd thought about actually. But on Friday night, the head doorman at one of the places I work is a massive Borough fan, and every season we always have a bet. We always have a tenner on it. And so I took the tenner off him when we won at home. So I went in on Friday all laughing and all that, got the tenner off him, clean sweep. And he said, I don't know what you're laughing at. He said, because you know what's going to happen now. We're going to knock you out in the playoffs. And you think that would be sod's law. He said, you'll finish third. He says, we'll scrape in at sixth. He said, we'll knock you out in the playoffs. And I thought, that's typical Sunderland and sod's law. We do the double over Borough and then in the playoffs. And so, anyway, we don't want to think about that. Just very quickly, people are saying we should have had a penalty when Isidore was he was bear hugged, wasn't he? Really, and do you think there was a call for it? I mean, I'm a firm believer also of one of them things like where referees try and even it up, send someone off, they'll send someone else off, give a penalty, they'll give a penalty to the other side. So I thought there was a good chance of getting us a penalty when they got one, but we didn't. But I must admit, for me, I didn't see any nailed on penalties for us. Terry?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I never saw it at all, mate.
Right.
Late on in the second. You have seen them given, to be fair, even in games in the Premier League with VAR. You know, they go back, re-watch it, and they give a penalty hit. But we have to remember we're in a league without VAR, and let's just enjoy it while we can for still being down here at the minute. But yeah, I'm surprised. You know what also is beneficial? So you see some of these decisions where if a lot of the squad, you know, get rowdy and appeal for it, that makes it more of a better chance of a decision being given, particularly when you're the home side as well. I know Isidore was absolutely foaming about it, but I think as obviously the players and the crowd, that can influence a decision as well. And we never really, there's been more decisions in the past at home this season where we've got purely down for, you know, the players showing their frustration to the referee and the crowd getting bugged up by it as well.
Right.
Look, I mean, let's face it, right? Sorry. Semedo isn't the issue why we drew yesterday. It was the mentality. But he wasn't the right player to be playing in that game yesterday. You know, I can get him. We're coming on with 20 minutes to go. But it was the wrong mentality. We need to be taking these teams, going for these teams from the off. And, you know, and not just sitting back when we get a 1-0 lead. We've noticed how many times have we thrown leads away? It's insanity to completely do the same thing over and over again and think it's going to be a different result. It's not going to happen. We need to change our mentality. We've got one chance. We've got 15 games to go. We've still got a chance for top two. If we can put these teams to bed, put them to the sword. But we need to change what we do. And the mentality for me is wrong at home.
Right, okay. A lot of people agreeing with you, Terry, on the chat. Ian Wilkinson says spot on, Terry. Glyn Jones, absolutely spot on, Terry. Emma, well said, Terry. Jackie's saying Terry for manager. No, he'll have the players singing and camping on flipping roundabouts and all sorts, man. We'll go our formal
socials at Wincy's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, well, that could be a good thing though. Right then. Just very quickly, view on the referee. Keep this short because we're going to be running out of time. Jacob, referee, not very good. A lot of people have slagged him off. I didn't see it myself.
I've seen worse than the display than what he gave yesterday. I've seen. We've had worse displays at home this season compared to what he put in.
Right. Okay, Terry.
I think it was shite, but he's not the reason why we didn't win.
Right, okay. I see. I was surprised. I mean, normally, you know, I'll have a good shout at a referee, me, you know, and what have you. But I didn't feel myself constantly on about him. So afterwards, when I'd seen on social media and the stick he was getting, I was surprised. And I think we've had a lot worse. Ian Wilkins on the chat says, "Yep, should have been a penalty." Well.
The problem is we don't score penalties at the minute.
Well, but that we need one quickly to get him back.
Isidore's on it, by the way. For me, I know he missed the 2 against Burnley. He has to take the next one.
I'll take it. I think 100% he'll take it. He'll take the next one.
He has to score this next one.
That doesn't mean that's not going to help my nerves at all. If we get a penalty, and imagine we're at Leeds. And we're in the final minute and we get a penalty.
No.
And Wilson steps up. We're going to.
I don't think I could look. I don't think I want to
give it to Job. If Job's playing against Leeds, he takes the penalty.
No, it's not going to happen again. I think it's nailed on for Isidore to take. It's not going to like it's not going to help my nerves.
When it does happen, and eventually, because I'm still confident he will get one and score it. The next, I'm confident he will score the next one. It will be like a Stuart Pearce Euro 96 moment. Absolutely.
I totally understand. He start taking the penalty. I understand. I would let Isidore take the penalty for leading 2 or 3-0. If it's 0-0, I give it to somebody who's a bit calmer and a bit cooler and not put the pressure on Isidore. Let him take one when we're winning 2 or 3-0, get the monkey off his back, set it back into taking penalties, get used to it. But I would give it to somebody else when it's a 0-0, because I'd hate to see the lad be under, if he'd missed another one, it'd be awful.
To be fair, Terry, that's a fair point. Because he will be under pressure to take it. And I suppose, like you say, if you're already 2 or 3 up, you can afford to miss the penalty. And that's a fair point. Just very quickly then, lads. What about, I know this is a big ask, this mind, man of the match, or if we're not going to go for a man of the match, who was absolutely pants then yesterday, if you want to do, I don't like to do that, to be honest. I'd rather see if we can be a bit positive and see if you could give anybody a man of the match. Terry?
From my eyes, I'll just give it a look 1-9. He gets a lot of stick over the weeks for different things, and sometimes he deserves it. But I thought yesterday's the goal. I thought he was solid in defence, and he may have made some mistakes. But I'm on this side I'm all real on the north stand, so maybe I didn't see certain things. But what I thought at least he give a bit of something. He's up there and he almost scored the second goal when he flipped the ball on a little bit. But yeah, he was trying his best to put the ball in the back of the net. So I give it a look 1-9.
Right, okay. Jacob?
I thought the fee was very good again. Apart from his corners, I think they were a bit off it.
Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, early on he showed some signs again. You think he's great. But then as the match went on, and those corners were horrendous.
But he was our bright spark when we came forward. But in terms of someone who needs to improve and had a really poor game yesterday, that was Roberts for me.
Right, okay. I think if it was for me, I would give it to Paveda. I think would get it for me. Right, be it yourself.
Do you know what it is, right? Remember before when Paveda came on, got subbed after 8 minutes because he was injured. Me and Wincy were saying, is Paveda going to get injured again? How long before he gets injured again? He's in a challenge. Oh, no, he's injured. He's off again. He's subbed again. He's made of glass.
How long did we give Paveda just 1 year, or was it 2?
Hopefully 1 month.
No, I am going to. Anyway, look.
He can't be here next season.
Right. We're going to have to... we'll have to sort of whisk through this now because we are running out of time. Just very quickly, we just now need 49 subscribers to that magical 10,000. Hang on, I've got somebody here to see us. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. And if you'll do that, that'll get us on our way to 10,000. Colin here. Way! Go on, Terry.
If next Sunday you need some subscribers, I'll do a live stream for the Monday night.
Fantastic. Yay! Do that, Colin. Way! Put your bollocks away. Right.
I want to see serious passion from you, Terry, in that.
Well, you come and join us as well.
I'm in Spain.
Join us from sunny Spain on the San Miguel.
When are you in Spain, Jacob?
When I'm in Spain for the Leeds game.
Are you really? Right, okay.
Watching with the Bilbao Macans.
Right. Well, if we still need subscribers for 10,000 on the Leeds game, you'll do the live stream on our channel, will you? Is that what you're saying? Fantastic. Yeah. Terence, you are an absolute star. Right. Before I'll quickly move on to the Luton game on Wednesday. Before I do, though, I know it was all doom and gloom yesterday, and Terry's still a bit miffed and what have you. But is it as bad as we're sort of making out? Because really, if we'd got a draw at Borough, I know we needed to win and we got the win and it was great. But if we'd got a draw at Borough, that wouldn't have been the end of the world. And we would have then got the win against Watford. So there would have been the 4 points anyway. All that's happened is it's just gone the other way around. So it's not that bad, really, is it, Terry?
Look, I mean, let's face it. I want us to give it a really
just want to win every game.
I want us to give it a really good go for the top 2. We're in this position now. We're really close. We're playing against the big boys. Parachute payments from Burnley, Sheffield United, Leeds, loads of money. All of them are spending loads of money. We're doing it we're doing it cautiously on a bit of a shoestring. And to be where we are, I think it's a really good push. And I just want us, we go away to Middlesbrough, we get a good win, come at home. Let's just really go for it. I'd rather really go for it at home and try and get it, win by 2 or 3 goals and really give it to for the fans and everything. But it's disappointing that, you go away from it against Middlesbrough, you get that fantastic result. Everyone's buzzing. You come at home and everybody's flat because of the game of football. I want to see the manager and I know the team are just not like the team. Obviously, want to get promoted. I just want to see everybody up for it and give it a real good go because we've got a chance still. Let's just see some passion from the players, passion from the ownership, passion from the head coach, and let's go for it from now to the end of the season.
Right. Okay, then hang on. AJJ there says Paveda is contracted to June 2027. SJ, so it was a 3-year contract, is what he's saying there. Emma is trying to ruin our chances of getting to 10,000 subscribers because she says the 10,000th subscriber can have a hug off Emma. No, we won't do that. I mean,
you know what contracts are worth, don't you? Diddly sauce.
Right, I tell you what. Let's get on to Luton on Wednesday. Are you going, Terry?
At the moment, yeah.
Good. I haven't seen you in the Wheat Sheaf yet. You used to come in, in days of old, you used to come in and see me in that. Now you didn't even.
Prefers the Hilton, didn't he?
Yeah, different journey down before. Now we get the late bus down. So the time we get there, it's like 2:05. Yesterday it was 2:15 by the time we got there.
I know, but the atmosphere now, it's been, in the Wheat Sheaf. And I've got my stringless guitar.
I'll try and persuade Wincy to turn up one point and get in.
Right, all right. It's good. I mean, the atmosphere now, everybody's singing. They're on tables, chairs, people's shoulders and all sorts. Great, man. Right then, Sunderland versus Luton. What major changes do you want to see to the team then? I mean, I know we've sort of touched on Samad and stuff like that. Jacob, do you want to start with
that? In terms of changes, I think maybe he may want to reshuffle the pack a bit, maybe bring Ballard in for 09. I think he should take Roberts out for this one. It's a question of, on the right hand, I think he'll put Mayenda there. And maybe, I don't know, it all depends really if Job's available.
Yeah.
On what he does in the middle.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat. Tony Huntington, I've stopped going to the home games because we are so negative on and off the pitch. I mean, that it's a whole nother show with people, the crowd being negative.
Was the atmosphere bad again yesterday?
What?
Was the atmosphere just because you said in the last?
I don't think it was quite as bad, but still. But you see all this thing about people say, I would never boo my team and people shouldn't be booing and this. See, for me, you pay your money and if you want to boo, then boo. I know people disagree with it. And if you want to, slag off whoever you want, then it's your right to do that, not somebody else's right to start saying you can't do that. But again, that's a whole another show. Victoria Burns on the chat said she'd start Ballard against Luton. They're very physical. I was going to get onto that about roughing us up. Terry, what changes would you make?
I would definitely start Paveda. The thing is, right,
looking at the odds for Paveda to get the winner on Wednesday now, definitely.
The thing is, right, does Ballard start? But what is Mepham right? Because he went off, didn't he?
I've not heard anything.
It's a good point.
Because if he went off, it's very rarely he goes off. So Ballard was warming up a lot in that match yesterday. He warmed up really rigorously in the first half. So is something up with Mepham? Is he not feeling? So if Mepham is 100% fit, there's no harm in starting Ballard.
Right. I think... just very quickly then. Callum SAFC says stadium atmosphere is so bad at the moment. AJJ, did we miss Dodds yesterday?
Makes no difference.
Nobody said out about that, have they? I mean, we always said, we've not liked him as a manager, but we said, he could be a good coach, but
Yeah, because we drew 2-2 against Plymouth and we drew against Bristol City. So there's been lots of poor games at home this season. You know, I know. Let's face it. I know it's really good and it's good from the players that we unbeaten this season at home, which is good to see. No one likes to lose at home, but at the same time, we could do so much more to improve these draws to victories. Now, like I say, I think even if Job's fit, I'd rest Rig and put Lafay in Rig's position. You know, so for me, bring Meander on the left. I'd still rather play Robertson Paveda, but if someone like Mundle was fit, then Meander replaces Roberts. So at the moment, we're waiting for players coming back. So I would definitely not start Samid, and I would definitely put Lafay in the position. Let's see what Lafay can do in his favourite position. There's no harm in trying.
Well, on the chat, Emma's saying Roberts should be benched. K. Ginity says keep Lafay out left. So
if Lafay is left, and everyone thinks that it's happy for Samit to start, but if Job's free, if Job's fit, you got Job, Rig. Well, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Lafay in the middle and rest Rig, or have Lafay on the left, keep Rig, and put Meander on the right over Roberts?
See, I still like Roberts, but that sounds nice. Like I'd love to see Lafay in the middle. That's his natural position. Seeing what he's done out left and how impressive he's been, it just excites me, the thought of him in the middle. Just really does. Right, okay. SJ says, so we're going to fall apart because Dodds has left. Anyway, lots of comments about that. Do you think Luton are going to come and try and rough us up like they did in the home game? I mean, they
do that to every team. That's the way they play.
And they're in the bottom three, Luton.
Yeah, they're second from bottom.
We've got to win this game. We can't be
said that against Plymouth. What happened?
We can't go. We can't. Yeah, but we sit back and be defensive. We cannot play defensive football against teams in the bottom three when we're in the top four. It's pathetic. It's absolute pathetic mindset. You've got to go for it. You've got to get up there, dominate the game, get in the faces with a high press, get a couple of goals. The confidence is going to be shot this season. They're in the bottom three. They've come from the Premier League, the Championship. They're in the bottom three. They're like we were that time we were in free fall. We've got to really put it at them. You know, give it to them. There's no reason why we've got to go for this game on Wednesday. No defensive shite. Simple as. We go goal in front. You get stuck into them even more. You get the passion up. The fans will rise to the cause. Simple as. When the fans see the team giving everything, they rise to the occasion. I know some people say, well, they don't have to do that. But like Billy says, sometimes it takes cause and effect. Sometimes it takes something in the game to really spark the crowd to get going. And we get at them from the off. We will raise our game in the crowd as well. Simple as. It's natural progression. That's what happens. We cannot sit back and defend against the shit side like Luton. And I mean, at this moment in time, they're the third worst team in the Championship. So I know we've got to go for it.
Right. Right. Well, I've changed my mind then. I agree now with Jackie. Terry for manager. I think it has to be.
Who would he bring in as his assistant?
He has the passion.
Luton have been a really good side over the years. They've been well managed, well coached to get to the Premier League. Now the confidence is right down. They're not playing very good football. We have got to get 3 points on Wednesday. Simple as. No ifs, buts, or maybes. We've got to go for the 3 points.
Right. Okay. Look, I need some predictions off you, and then we're going to go for. Look, we just need 18 more people to get to our magic 100 likes. Just hit the thumbs up, do that for us. And don't forget, we're on our way to 10,000. We are so close now to 10,000 subscribers. If you're watching, if you're not subscribed, it'll take you a second just to hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. We just need another 49 people to do so. And it's going to happen this week. We know it's going to happen this week. And Emma is going to hug all 10,000 subscribers once we get there, apparently.
We having a 10K celebration party.
I'm sure we could do. That would be good. We could all get hammered down in that there London. Right, okay, let's go for some predictions. Jacob, Wednesday night, Sunderland versus Luton.
I'm gonna say, listen, Luton won't just want to come and park the bus; they'll want to come and park the depot, mate. Honestly, it will be a tough, very, very tough side to break down. We normally struggle against teams like that at the Stadium of Light. So you know what, I'm gonna say we'll win just, but I reckon it'll be a 1-0.
1-0 to Sunderland. We'll take that all day, Jacob.
Yep.
Absolutely. Terence?
I think the coach and the high ranking in our club are underselling our team. We've got a good bunch of quality, really, talented young players at this team. We're not letting them play at their potential. Get rid of this negative shite. Let's take it to Luton and win 3-0 on Wednesday night. Let's change our mentality. They're a really talented young bunch of players. We really got a good squad. Let's go for it.
So, sorry, what did I miss your score there, Terry?
3-0.
3-0. I was just looking at the chat with different things coming in on there. Predictions coming in. Ian Wilkinson says 2-2. Emma is saying 2-1. 2-1 win from behind, as we normally do now at home. David saying 1-0. Peter Heron 2-0. Scrappy 1-0. McGriffiths. Alan Robinson 1-0 to Sunderland. You know what? We've never won by more than 2 goals for ages. I keep saying about getting our goal difference up and we need to bang some in. They're near the bottom, so I'm going to go for a nice hefty. It's overdue, a nice hefty 4-0 Sunderland win.
Fair enough.
We'll do it, and we've got to. We've just got to do it. I know we'll concede a goal, like should have gone 4-1, but never mind. We can just leave it at that. So I think that just about wraps it up for us. If you're going to the match on Wednesday night, I don't normally do midweeks at the Wheat Sheep, but we're doing every single game now to the end of the season. So if you're out and about early and you're not going to your normal place because you just finished work, pop in the Wheat Sheep, come and see us, come and say hello, have a bit of a sing-song, have some beers in there, and an all-round good time. That is just about it, I think. Jacob, would you just like to say bye to everybody?
Bye, everyone. Have a good week at work, and as I always say, keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Terry?
What?
Well, just say bye to everybody, man, you knob.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm not going to call them knobs. That's not very nice, Phil.
I'm not calling them that. You're the knob. Yeah.
Enjoy your week, and hopefully we'll get 3 points on Wednesday night.
Right, okay. Listen, thanks for tuning in again. Don't forget, we're that close to 10,000. Please subscribe, like, tell your friends about it, share the news of SAFC Fan TV. If you're a member of this channel as well, by the way, watch for your name in the credits. And we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Well done, lads.
Whoa. Hang on. We're still live. I don't